Okay, so last thing, I'm really curious because this is the 6th time this has been on the notes. A system of equations is a collection of two or more equations, and the solution to a system is the point that makes both equations opposite of false. True. They're already equal because they're equations. Legally, I think. Not sure. Okay, steps to solving by elimination. Everything is the same today as it was yesterday, except we are now multiplying both of our equations. So we are going to have to multiply both of our equations to make it so that either our x's cancel out or our y's cancel out. So as we're doing that, we're going to have to decide what to turn both our x's and our y's into. Then after that, add them together to eliminate a variable, solve for one variable, plug it in, solve for the other. Steps 2 through 6 are the same as they were yesterday. Okay, 4x plus 5y equals negative 14. 6x plus 3y equals 6. We need to either cancel out our x's or our y's. We cannot turn 4 into 6 or 6 into 4. We cannot turn 5 into 3 or 3 into 5. But we can turn both 4 and 6 into something that's the same. So we are going to be turning them into what's called the lowest common multiple. So it might take a sec to figure out what that is. The lowest common multiple, lowest means the least, common means they have to both have it, and then multiples are like if we list 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, those are the multiples of 2. So we want to find the smallest number that both 4 and 6 go into. So what's the smallest number that you can divide by both 4 and 6? I heard somebody say it. 12. So 12 is the lowest common multiple of 4 and 6. So we are going to turn these into 12x and negative 12x. If you need to find multiples while you're working through these, you can list them out. So I could list 4, 8, 12, 16. And then if I were listing my multiples of 6, I would do 6, 8, 6, 12, 18. And then I would find the one they have in common. Okay.
What's that? What's after 6?
I messed up and I crossed it out. I shouldn't grab my whiteout yet.
What was the numbers?
It was 12. 6, 12, 18. So 12 is the lowest common multiple of 4 and 6. Okay. Then we could also cancel out our y's, but we have to choose, and we're choosing to cancel out our x's in this one. So we are going to cancel out our x's by turning them into 12x and negative 12x. So to turn the top one into 12x, I'm going to have to multiply by 3. So I'm going to multiply my top equation by 3. So 3 times 4x is 12x. 3 times 5y is 15y. And 3 times negative 14 is negative 42. Okay, so we turn the top one into positive 12x, which means we need to turn the bottom one into negative 12x. So what do we need to multiply our bottom equation by to do that? So what do we need to multiply 6 by to turn it into negative 12?
Negative 3.
You got the negative. 6 times what? Negative 2. So 6 times negative 2 will give us negative 12. So we're going to multiply our bottom equation by negative 2. So negative 2 times 6x will be negative 12x. Negative 2 times 3y will be negative 6y. And negative 2 times 6 will be negative 12. So we've multiplied to make it so that they cancel out. Does anyone have any questions right now? Okay, so now we have two brand new equations, and that is what we are going to be working with. So we're going to add those together, do our elimination, solve, and then go solve for other variable. So if we add these together, 12x and negative 12x cancel out, which is what we want. 15 plus negative 6y, or 15 minus 6y, is 9y. And then negative 42 minus 12 is negative 54. That's step 2, adding the equations together to eliminate a variable. Step 3, solve for the remaining variable. So we're going to divide both sides by 9. And we'll get y equals negative 6. All right, 54 divided by 9 is 6. Yes. Okay. Any questions about steps 1, 2, or 3? Okay. So with that, then, we are going to go ahead and plug in y equals negative 6. We can plug it into either original equation. So I'm just going to grab the top one, 4x plus 5y equals negative 14. You could technically use these equations too, but the numbers are way bigger. And so you might as well just use the original ones. So we're going to take that y equals negative 6. We're going to plug it in for y right here. So we've got 4x plus 5 times negative 6 equals negative 14. Five times negative 6 is negative 30. So we've got 4x minus 30 equals negative 14. We'll add 30 to both sides. We'll get 4x equals 16. And then we'll divide by 4 and get x equals 4. Our answer always needs to be written as an ordered pair. So this ordered pair is going to be 4, negative 6. Bathroom. Be quick. Hey, any questions on this first one? Yes.
How did we get negative 2 at the end?
Which negative 2? This one right here?
Yes.
Because we needed to turn this into negative 12. So we decided to turn our x's into 12x and negative 12x. And so then we have to say 4 times what is 12. So that's why we picked the 3. And then 6 times what is negative 12. Yep. Good question. Because that's the, like, getting started is the hardest part with these. Once you guys get going, it's smooth sailing usually. Okay, I want to show you guys one thing, which is how to check this. We're going to check this one. We won't check the next one. If I wanted to check the solution to this equation, I got 4, negative 6. So I'm going to plug in 4 for x. I'm going to plug in negative 6 for y in both these. So 4 times 4 plus 5 times negative 6 is negative 14, which is what I want it to be. 6 times 4 plus 3 times negative 6 is 6, which is what I want it to be. So you can always check by plugging in both x and y. Okay. I'm going to flip this. We've got one more on the back. I told you today's notes would be shorter. So we've got 3x minus 2y equals 2, and 5x plus 5y equals negative 30. Since we canceled out x's on the first one, I want to show you an example of canceling out y's. So I want to make our y's cancel out. Also, with our y's, one's already negative and one's already positive, so that's nice because they're already opposite sides. We need to find the lowest common multiple of 2 and 5. What is the smallest number that 2 and 5 both go into? So, if you can't figure it out, we can list our multiples. What are my count by 2's for me? 2. What comes next? 4. 6. 8. 10. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. My multiples of 5 would be 5, 10, 15, 20. What's the lowest one they have in common? 10. So 10 is my lowest common multiple. So I want to turn my y's into negative 10y and positive 10y. So I'm going to leave the top one negative since it's already negative. So in order to turn negative 2 into negative 10, what would I need to multiply by? Negative 2 times what is negative 10? 5. Yep, so we're going to multiply our top one by 5. So we'll do 5 times 3x, which is 15x. We'll do 5 times negative 2, which is negative 10y. And then 2 times 5, which is 10. Okay, for the bottom one, we've got 5x plus 5y equals negative 30. We need to make this 5y be positive 10y. So 5 times what? Can you wait until we're done? If you can, wait. If you can't, go. What do we need to multiply 5 by to make it 10? 2. Awesome. So we're going to multiply the bottom one by 2. So I would say this first step is probably the hardest, figuring out what to multiply by. So 2 times 5 is 10x. 2 times 5y is 10y. And then negative 30 times 2 is negative 60. Yep. So in this one, our y's cancel out. We've got 15x plus 10x, which is 25x. Our y's cancel out. And then 10 plus negative 60, or 10 minus 60 is negative 50. And then from here, we solve for x, plug it in, solve for y. So 25x, we're going to get rid of the 25 by dividing. We'll get x equals negative 2. And then we can take either original equation. I'm going to take the first one. So 3x minus 2y equals 2. We're going to plug in negative 2 for x. So that'll be 3 times negative 2 minus 2y equals 2.
-6.
3 times negative 2 is negative 6 minus 2y equals 2. And then from there, we add 6 to both sides. Negative 2y equals 8. Plus 6 is 8. And then we can divide both sides by negative 2. Y equals negative 4. And then our answer gets rid of it as an ordered pair. X comes first, so negative 2, negative 4. Okay. Any questions right now? Okay, this is perfect because I wouldn't have more than 20 minutes to work. For the last time I'm going to say it this semester, glue your notes into your notebook. And then I will bring around your assignments. I'll go ahead and stop this video so we can start uploading.